This is Weeknights. Yeah, and I must need honey or something. My throat. I'm out here sounding like Alicia Keys at the Super Bowl. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
Some
that's not even
people.
right. That's not. Yeah, I had a delayed reaction to that. That is not. It's actually pretty terrible.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, I'm JD, aka He Who Pods.
And I'm Dash, aka Dashing D.
Yep. And it's Friday.
Hey.
Oh, okay. On your Drake shit. I think it
Yes.
said free.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Just call me OVO Dash.
Oh, you don't want to be OVO Dash.
I don't. I don't.
No. My man
No.
said other blank options.
Ugh.
I can't even say what the V was because too early in the episode. But
And
y'all know what he
also,
said.
yeah, and I can't be that because I'm June's very own. So it just wouldn't work. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, I have so many thoughts once you said OVO, but I'm just going to behave myself. Let's move forward with our show.
Let's start with Ice Spice. She's got new music.
Yep. Ice Spice has a new record out. It
Give me
dropped
a light.
today. Give me a light.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Which is a sample of Sean Paul's Give Me the Light. Or, excuse me, Give Me the Light. Just give me the light. Yeah.
Correct.
So I listened to it.
Uh-huh.
I feel the sample is terrible.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't care that the song itself was sampled. I just feel like the way it was sampled was pretty terrible. I don't like the way it was slowed down. I thought that was awful. It doesn't sound good. I don't like it. The song itself, like outside of that, because that happens at the very beginning and then at the very end, the song itself is fine. And I know there's like some ad libs in the background.
Always ad libs.
What's in the middle is fine. I don't like that beginning and that end part when they slow down the original. I think it sounds terrible.
All right.
But it was, a very Ice Spice song, and we love Ice Spice. Ice Spice is cute. She makes bops. You know what you're getting from Ice Spice. We've talked about this before. We don't expect, I don't know, Little Kim level raps, right? Foxy Brown level raps, Missy Elliott. We don't expect that from Ice Spice. We expect to have these fun. I purposely did not say anybody current. we expect to have these fun, playful tracks, and that's what we got. It's fun and it's playful.
I did not think this was fun or playful.
I thought it was fun and playful. You didn't think so?
No.
Okay.
No. I think I agree that a lot of her music is, but this didn't come across as fun or playful.
I felt it was delivered very fun and playful.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think this is her big move, I don't think this is that. That's what you say, right?
No, I said they did their big one. You say big move. I've never said that before.
Listen, I'm ancient, so I don't even know.
You keep trying to convince me that they're the same.
I don't know. I don't remember. All right, I'll try to be better when I quote the kids. Yeah, this is not. She did not do her big one. I don't think so. But what I did think was good was you didn't mention, and maybe because I cut you off, is her flow was very different this time.
It was
She
different.
sounded a lot like Fabio Foreign on this record.
And she sounded more like she was rapping and not whispering.
Does she whisper?
I feel like her songs kind of sound a little whispery. You don't think so? I think it's just her voice. But
That voice was deep this time.
well, and I feel like it just sounded different. I don't want to, because
No,
now
I'm not saying it
I
as
feel
a diss. When I say deep, I mean she had a more, dare I say, masculine tone on this record. Rapping in that drill flow,
that
that
yeah.
Fabio Foreign flow, this was less dainty, quote unquote, and more aggressive, is what I'm saying.
Well, I guess maybe that's what I maybe that's a better way of, I don't know if it's a better way, but maybe that's a different way of saying what I'm trying to say. I feel like typically when you hear her, it's kind of like it's just a softer delivery.
Yes.
I felt like with this, she enunciated more. I feel like she was more clear. I feel like she wasn't trying to like keep a specific like. I don't know why I compare it to a whisper, but to me, when her previous songs, to me, she sounds like she's like purposely lowering her tone when she talks, and maybe that's just her voice. I don't know, but
Mhm.
this did sound different. She sounded different on this. Um, so yeah, I did notice that.
I appreciated that. I appreciated that she switched things up. I don't know if Fabio wrote it or he was involved, but maybe I didn't check the credits. But she did say I don't need a writer. But people say that, and they also have writers, so I don't know. But
She
uh,
writes her own music.
I don't think any of the women write their own music today. And that's not a
Why do you
shot.
think
We
that?
know. I was just about to say we know Partisan Fontaine has written hits for all the girls. He is the number one girl writer.
So none of those girls write their raps.
I'm saying he has written hits for all of the girls. So for Lotto, Cardi, Meg, Nikki, that's what has been said. You told me that a while back on this on when we did that other show.
Well, I know I've talked about him, but
Remember I thought on Cobra. Remember this came up around the time Meg dropped Cobra
mhm.
because she was dissing him, and I thought she was dissing Party Next Door. And then you told
I
me
remember
Partisan
that.
Fontaine, and then I looked him up, and also they spoke about him on several podcasts, and they were all saying like, yeah, Party, as in Partisan Fontaine, writes hits for all the girls. So I'm not saying they don't write any of their music,
That's
but I'm saying that
that's what
they
I'm
have
asking.
writers.
Right.
When I
Yeah.
say they don't write their music, I mean I'm under the impression that none of the women write all of their music on their own.
Okay.
That they all have a team of writers, and when it comes to the hit single, Party is the go-to guy.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you were trying to say that they just none of them write at all. So
No, I'm not allowed to say that anymore because the new thing is even when other people write records for them completely, they say they co-wrote the record, they helped out. So I can never say they don't write any of their music anymore because that's the new thing. The last couple years that they co-wrote it.
okay. Well, so I don't know who wrote it.
I
But
mean, I can say.
I mean, I don't. Does it matter?
Uh, I could argue both sides, but I was just trying to say I don't know if someone else wrote it or not, but it sounds good. It sounds different. It sounds like whoever wrote it, whether it was her or someone else, like they were listening to that drill sound, that flow that we hear consistently when Fabio does records.
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like him. I was waiting for him to come on the record, honestly. I
Maybe
didn't
it'll be on the
because I just saw
remix.
it and pressed play and was like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about it on the pod. Let me listen." I was waiting for him to come on. He would have fit right in. I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the remix.
That's what I just said. Maybe.
Oh, I didn't even hear you. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, I think that would be very fitting. I think it sound just like everything we hear him on. Which again, I'm saying that to compliment Ice Spice. I don't know how it's coming across because this conversation has jumped around a bit, but I think it's great that she switched her flow and was able to do this very distinct flow. Excuse me, distinct flow that I'm not used to hearing from Ice Spice. Maybe she's done it before. I don't know her entire catalog. I just know the singles that I've heard. So to me, it was cool to hear this new single with a very different flow from Ice Spice.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought the song outside of the I don't like the sample, but I thought she sounded good. I thought that the song was I thought it was still her it still had her flavor to it. And that's why I said, playful and fun. Like her beats are not like these hard, you know, heavy beats or uh, it's to me she still always has that like poppy kind of element to her music.
And you think this was Poppy?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. We have a difference of opinion. I don't think so. I think this was Ice Spice showing I'm from New York. I
Mhm.
can do the drill sound and I can do it well.
Okay.
But it's okay if we look at things differently. That's cool.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just, I felt like it still had her spice, if you will. Um, it still sounded like a nice spice record. It didn't.
Oh,
I
that
don't.
I
I
agree
don't
with.
think. I don't
That
think
I
it
agree with.
deviated too far away from
No, the
too far
lyrics
away
were
from her
definitely
style.
Ice Spice. The style was definitely the type of record it was Ice Spice. But I think that drill beat and those that drill flow, I have not used to hearing from Ice Spice. I think that was very different.
What makes a beat a drill beat?
All right, let's do that next week. Not to be rude, I want to make sure I'm answering properly because I'm not the most familiar with drill. So I want to make
Okay.
sure that I answer properly because it could just be a BPM range, right? Like trap beats usually have a certain range
Hmm.
of BPMs, beats per minute, for the listeners who don't know what BPMs are. Um, and of course, there's always exceptions, right? Because some beats can have a high BPM and sound slow, and the opposite. Some beats have a low BPM but sound fast. So it gets a little tricky. Um, but usually there are specific components to each subgenre, quote unquote, of hip hop. Um, I want to make sure I am accurate with the answer. I don't really listen to drill. Actually, I don't listen to drill. So I've heard it before, but I don't really listen to it. So I'm not the best person to ask. I would prefer to go get answers and come back with answers than just say, "Oh, it means XYZ" and be wrong.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I only ask because I don't. I know like the examples people have given me like and said, "Oh, this person is drill." Like if you're asking what does drill sound like, it's this person. Um like
It's Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke.
That's drill.
Um right. But
Before he passed, many say that he was the number one drill artist.
so I've heard that. But like outside of him, he had a very specific sound style and maybe that's what drill is, but I don't know enough about it to like recognize it outside of that. So that's why I was asking.
I
Um
got you. No,
but
actually a really good question. I just don't have an answer readily available, and I prefer to go do a little research and maybe call one or two of my young people who listen to that and come back with a real answer as opposed to being like, "Oh, it means brown couches." And be like,
mhm.
"Nigga, no, it does not mean brown couches. Shut the hell up." Yeah. So let's table it.
Okay.
I'll get answers over the weekend and we can discuss what drill is next week.
Mhm. Okay.
Sweet.
Where are we
Let's
going now?
keep it spicy.
Spicy
So,
is relative, by the way.
okay, I agree. Um, well, we've been talking a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, way too much about beef.
So much beef.
I mean, all kinds of beef. Wagyu, Agnes,
I
it's
love
just
Wagyu beef. So good. So
it's
good.
just really
A
like
Wagyu
so much.
beef burger
I take your word for it.
with the good cheese.
Oh, what's the good cheese?
No, it just has to have good cheese. I don't. It
Oh,
depends
okay.
on the
You said
burger.
what's the good cheese? So I'm like, what's the good cheese?
Listen, but you gotta get like that high quality American cheese. It sounds like a no, but when I tell you, those who know that high quality, that American cheese that's like sharp but creamy. Oh my gosh, on a Wagyu burger with some caramelized onions.
Gotta have the caramelized onion.
You they gotta be caramelized or crispy. I love a crispy onion, but caramelized onions are top tier. Um anyway, sorry.
It's
I'm
all good.
hungry.
You know, and I'm about to say, you sound a lot like Rick Ross right now. And I feel like he would know that exact quality burger you're talking about
Oh yeah.
because he is the biggest boss that we've seen thus far.
Thus far.
Um, so the game has dissed Rick Ross. He put out a record
Yep.
called Freeway's Revenge. Uh, because Rick Ross' name comes from Freeway Ricky Ross. Uh, for those who don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
so he dissed him.
Yep,
And
he did.
I have to be honest, I don't really know why.
I
It
don't either.
seems like because Drake was battling everyone else, Game said, all right, I'll take on Ross.
He was like, somebody's got to respond to Ross, which Drake did, but just for clarity, Drake did respond to Rick Ross, but
Twice.
twice, twice. So he covered that base. But yeah,
Yeah.
Game felt like he needed to say something to him.
Yep.
Um,
And he said a lot of somethings.
he's a very talented rapper. I want to start there.
Absolutely.
He's
Game is super slept on.
he's a very talented rapper. Um, I've been put on to some of his. I never really followed him, but I've been put on to some of his music in recent years. He is an extremely talented rapper.
And Chameleon.
He's great at switching up the flow. He's great at mimicking a style. He's incredible. Okay, I just want to be clear. I want to say that. I want to put that out
Starting with
there.
love.
I want to put it on the table
Starting with love.
because what I'm about to say is probably going to, I just want to know, why is he here? Who sent
Nobody
for him?
knows. I don't nobody.
Like, nobody asked for you. Nobody called your name. Nobody. What? Why do you think? What are you doing here, game? What are
Nobody
you
knows.
doing here? We didn't.
He even
We didn't look for
even
you.
yeah.
And he's not the only one. We talked about this weeks ago, where he's not the only person who just was like, hey, me over here, hello, you guys are playing and I want to play too. Pass me the ball. He's
ASAP
not the
Rocky.
only person who has done that. We even kind of said that about Rick Ross.
ASAP Rocky.
He did that too.
He dissed Drake on the Future
Oh,
Metro
you're
album.
right. You're right. You're right. I forgot. See, I
But
forgot
people gave him a pass because it sucked and because Drake's been dissing Rihanna. So they were like, all right, we got it.
But
Go
also,
ahead, man. Defend your girl's honor, but not
right.
really.
But also, like, you see the same way we kind of forgot about that. Like, we didn't really give it much weight. That's what this feels like. This feels
You're
like,
not you're not allowed to say wait while we're talking about Rick Ross. Nah, I'm kidding.
huh. I just feel like I don't know what game is doing here. I don't know why he showed up. And like I think it's great that he's a super talented rapper and like sure, like when you listen to it, you're like, oh, okay, he did his thing. I'm not I'm not here to bash anything that he did. I just don't understand why we're here, and I'm not particularly interested in this beef because like what's happening. And Rick Ross is just on the internet laughing at him.
That's the flyest part. He's over there skating to hate
He's a
it or
clown.
love it.
Yeah,
He's over there, showing his,
his
you
Louis
know,
Vuitton, his Louis Vuitton
Louis
cereal bowl.
Vuitton, Tyler the Creator bowl.
He,
Listen, I have to be honest. Rick Ross studied what 50 did to him and has been doing it to Drake and now to Game. He said, I am going to be on the internet trolling niggas, making niggas mad. I don't even gotta put out records.
I need Ross to take this show on the road. Like I don't know what we need to do. I don't know if we
What
need a
you mean
camera.
by that?
I'm about to tell you. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
we need
tell
a
me.
I don't know if we need a camera following him around. Like, I don't know what we need, but I would love to see Rick Ross do something funny. Like, even if he created like his own YouTube show or something, I would totally watch it. Because I remember when I was on Snapchat, I'm old, so old people don't use that no more. But
We
when
don't.
we did, when we did, when we were in our Snapchat prime, before it was called Snap, um,
Before
I
Rihanna left.
follow. Yeah, before Rihanna left, which is when we all left. But it was him and DJ Khaled that I used to follow. I didn't really follow a whole lot of celebrities, but I followed the two of them because they were extremely entertaining. This is when Khaled was on his social media high, like, and he was in every commercial you turned on the TV. He was in every single commercial because he was just so good at social. But the other person that I was following was Rick Ross because he gave that was around the time he was on house arrest. So he was in the house a lot, but he would just be so funny and so entertaining. It would be like a whole bit. I feel like he's funny enough that we could be entertained by some sort of content from him that is not music. I
Yes, I
totally
agree.
see it. And I don't understand why he won't. He needs to capitalize on that because I do think he's genuinely funny. And like you said, maybe it is him studying 50 Cent and like seeing how 50 Cent has dealt with people. I could totally or dealt with him, and I could totally understand that. But like, take this show on the road because the Hate It or Love It playing with the car
Oh
bouncing
my
up and
god.
down. It was so
Perfect.
funny.
And it looked just like the one from Game's cover.
Yeah, and some of the things he said to Drake, like hilarious,
White
so
boy.
funny.
White boy.
I mean, that alone is iconic, but
Crody, Crody, Crody. It's my
but
shit.
but this is what I'm talking about. I feel like I know, it's all jokes and whatever, and we're not. This is a very unserious conversation, but I just feel like
I mean,
he's
what you're
got
saying
something.
he does on his story, on his
Yeah,
Instagram story, that's pretty much what it is.
but I'm saying I think he could monetize something and be
I
super.
mean, I think he is monetized.
Oh well, I don't know about how that works, but
I don't think he's putting asses in seats like selling tickets, but
right,
I mean, he posts about 40 stories a day.
that's true. Yes, you're
And
you're
there's uh-oh, I hit my ring light, it might fall. Eh, Um, yeah, he posts about 40 stories a day on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and plenty of them be Bel Air ads, or right now, like his car show's coming up. He got
Mm-hmm.
that ad going, you know?
Yep.
So, false alarm.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, listen, I think it's great. I agree. I think Ross is Ross is killing game without any songs. My advice that nobody asked for is that Ross does not respond
I hope he
with a
doesn't.
record,
I hope he doesn't.
because I like Ross. But let me just remind the internet, Game was dropping 6 and 7 minute disc records in like '07, when nobody was doing that except him and Joe Budden. Them niggas will drop 300 bars straight and switch the beat 7 times and keep going. So Rick Ross, you're not going to be able to do Maybach Music Part 27 and beat him in this battle.
Don't do that to
Uh,
Maybach Music.
Come on, there's 70 of them, and that's fine.
There's
But I'm
not.
just saying, okay. But my point is, that's not going to do it. So, you probably should not respond, because the fun in games are great, but if he hits a record, Game will smoke his boots.
I believe that. I believe that,
Yeah,
but
we'll be
but I,
smoking on Bel Air.
it's also silly. Like he even said it. He was like, "Yo, somebody's thirsty." Because I mean,
Starving. He said niggas is
somebody's
starving.
starving, right? Because game again. Nobody was looking for you, and I mean that respectfully, sir. Where did you come from, and why are you here? I don't understand. And like if you want somebody to play with, I guess. But there's no other. And then I think it's really funny, and this is how like people have bias and fans have bias. Because when you look in the comments of Rick Ross's response, people are like, "Game said he was going to do this. What? Nothing? Have some fun, laugh.
Yeah,
Game said he was going to do this.
yeah,
Okay."
yeah.
The
Game
only
put up
one
a
that looks
post.
foolish is Game.
He's trying to get him out. He's trying to get him to come out and play.
He's trying to wake the beast, and I just feel like
I don't. I don't think that's the beast. I think in this
I
one, Game is the beast.
when I say wake the
Like,
beast,
wait, listen, with Drake and Kendrick, I was honest. I said I got no horse in this race. But if it's Game and Ross, I am Game all the way. Like, Game is not to be messed with lyrically, and Ross is good, but Ross is good at making songs and albums. This record's different story.
But when I say wake the beast, I simply mean like that he's trying to make him mad. He's trying to like he's trying to get him in a state to go and record a record himself. I don't
Correct.
necessarily mean he's, you know, I don't mean that as equivalent to how good or bad he is. I just mean I think he's trying to I think he's trying to poke the bear, however you want to say it. Like he's trying to provoke him
Right.
is what I mean. Um,
You're right.
and I'm kind of glad that Ross is just like, ha 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 ha. Because what are you doing? And I've said from the beginning, I feel like Rick Ross was the most unserious person in this whole thing the entire time. I don't think that he was really. I don't think that he was really looking for a fight. I think that he was just playing around. I think he might have said some things that he meant and was serious about, but I think he was. I think it was fun to play around with Drake, and that's what he was doing. I don't think he was looking for what Drake and Kendrick had between them. Um. So I don't
Yes, I
know.
agree.
But good luck to them both. I hope Gain. I hope Game finds whatever he's looking for.
Oh, well, what he's looking for is a battle with Ross. I hope he does not find it.
I guess.
because that won't be pretty.
Yeah. Someday we'll have a conversation about Shaq and Shay Shay.
No, we
Um,
won't.
but not to.
No, we won't. No, we won't. And they shouldn't even have a conversation about Shaq and Shay Shay. But I heard you got some Jarrod Carmichael updates for us.
This show is the most bizarre show that I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I don't even know what to do with it at this point.
Okay. What episode you up to? How many are out? How many are left?
I want to say
Give us,
they're up to
give us
episode
the
6.
info.
I don't remember how many episodes it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So each episode kind of has a theme. So there's been a, a dad episode where he went on a road trip with his dad. The latest episode, well, I guess the latest episode came out today, but I haven't seen it, obviously. So last week's episode was about his mom. His mom was the one who had the biggest reaction to him coming out. So
Okay.
that's like a whole thing. There was a friendship episode where we learned that he's a terrible friend.
Okay.
There was the
Is that the
episode.
Tyler?
No, this was a separate episode. This was when we learned that like his friends, not not love interests, not his friends, like people he's
Oh,
known
okay.
from childhood, he treats them like crap. He
Wow.
just simply he doesn't know how to be a good friend.
Got it.
And the episode was basically him trying to figure out how to be a better friend to his friends,
Okay.
which was pretty weird because his friend was getting married. His friend from like childhood was getting married
Hmm.
and sent him, I don't know if you've ever been in a wedding, but if you're in a different location, a lot of times what people will do is for their wedding party, they'll find a place that exists. Usually you can get wherever you get the dresses from or the suits from, tuxedos from. You can usually find somewhere in the person's city where they can get fitted for it and get it too.
Okay.
So they were getting the suits from Men's Warehouse, and they gave him all the
And those
information.
are all over the place.
Right. They were getting all of the information. They sent all the information and everything, and he was like, "I'm not wearing that. I don't wear Men's Warehouse." And he's supposed to be in the wedding. I want to say he was the best man. Was he the best man? I can't remember. He was supposed to be in the wedding. He gets his Tom Ford tuxedo because that's what he wants to wear. He was like, I don't like people telling me what I have to wear. Um, he misses the wedding. Like he shows up late, and then he misses a large part of the wedding because he left to get food. Like during the time of the wedding, like it was just ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. I was like, "You're a terrible friend." He had a friend move in with him she's trying to start her acting career,
Okay.
and granted, she wasn't the best house guest. Like she was leaving stuff all over the place or whatever. He goes and he gets her an apartment, and she's thinking, "Oh, like he set me up and whatever." And then he says to the camera people, he's like, "But what she doesn't know is that I only rented the apartment for a month." And this was his way of kicking her out. It was just weird. Like it was just a lot of weird stuff. Again, he tries to like that was his way of like trying to make things right between him and her, but I don't know. He's a weird guy. He's also like a glutton for punishment. I just don't understand. He I think he's complicated. I think he's hurt by a lot of things, especially with his parents. Because then it dives into when it gets to the dad episode, it dives into the fact that his dad like cheated on his mom for some ridiculous amount of time and
Okay.
has a whole other family. Like his parents were married and his dad had this whole other family. And he
Okay.
tries to he goes on this road trip with his dad. He asks him to take this road trip and they're going on the road trip and stuff that I won't even get into. Like he tries to teach him like different terms that gay men use. And his dad's kind of just like, okay, okay. He told him at one point that could be you, and his dad's just like, okay, because I guess he doesn't know how to react. His parents weren't too thrilled.
I mean, I also imagine his parents are not 21.
Right. It's like he likes to be in these uncomfortable situations, and he likes to put people in these uncomfortable moments. He likes to say things that I guess will shock people. Um, it's weird. But he's also a comedian, so I guess like it kind of makes sense. I don't know. I
I
just
mean, there are people who just like to make people uncomfortable.
That is true too.
So
And he's one of those people. Um it's really awkward when it gets to the mom stuff just because she's just like, "Well, I love you. I love you unconditionally." And he's like, "No, but you don't." And she's like, "No, but he was like, "Don't lie. You don't love me unconditionally." You know,
because she was unaccepting of his
of
coming
his
out.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Okay.
She keeps saying that,
And I can understand why someone would feel that.
yeah. She's not. I mean, I agreed with him in that moment. I was like, well, yeah, you basically told him God hates him. Like that's like maybe you didn't say it like that, but you basically said that.
All the religious folks.
Right. She's very religious, and she's like, God doesn't want you to do this, and so that's why I say he's complicated, and I think he has a lot of hurt. Um so maybe that has something to do with and he feels like, and rightfully so, he feels like he's had to hide himself for a really long time, a really large part of his life.
Right.
So I think he's just like reckoning with that. What I think is really compelling, and then I'll close it out, but I think is really compelling that he is showing us this. I think I would watch this back in production and be like, this is a lot. As someone who's been podcasting for quite a while, several years, and as someone who has done that solo, talking about yourself sometimes or sharing things about yourself sometimes can be very you can feel very exposed. And I'm just trying to imagine like, because even now having people watch it and experience it and critique it, even that has got to be hard, even if he's not saying it to us. It's a lot. So that's why I feel okay with not with continuing to watch, because I feel like I still think he's been incredibly brave for sharing so much about his life,
Okay.
including the bad parts. Because some people would hide that they were a bad friend. He didn't hide
Yeah.
it. In fact, he said, "Yeah, I know, like I have an issue, and I don't really know how to be better, but I'll attempt to." So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I know originally I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I can watch this anymore, and this is weird," and he got weird, and I still think he's a pretty peculiar person, but the more I watch it, the more I think that it's just he has a really complicated story.
Okay. I remember one of our early conversations about it. You were saying it does seem exploitive. It seems like he is also exploiting the people around him. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, because I think how can you not, right? Like his dad, albeit his dad in his eyes, and I would probably feel the same way had I gone through the same thing. He feels like his dad is terrible for what he did. And rightfully so. You're a kid. He tells a story about how he goes to school and people are saying things about him and this other boy at school, and it turns out that this boy is his brother. And people knew it and he didn't. So he has every
Okay.
right to
How
be
old is
angry.
Jarrod Carmichael though?
I want to say he's like our age.
Okay.
So I understand he tries to confront his dad at some point. And here was what made it complicated too. I think his dad really genuinely thought he wanted to go on this vacation with him to bond with him.
But it wasn't.
And there were several moments where he like tries to talk to his dad about certain things. He tries to talk about the fact that him and his parents don't really speak much. He tries to talk to him. The biggest one was him talking to him about the other life that he had, the other woman. And his dad was like, why are you doing this? At that point was, I think, when he hit a wall and he was like, why are you doing this? And he said, because like this this is what it is. And his dad's like, that's my stuff, don't tell my stuff. And he's like, no, it's my stuff too.
Right.
So yes, I do think it exploits, because I think that you could have had these same conversations with these same people without us. We didn't really need to be there. I think it's different when you're showing yourself versus when you're showing other people. And as much as your parents may not be good people to you in your eyes, they're still people. Um, and you still are expressing love for them. I don't know if the best way forward is through a reality show that puts everything that they've done in
On
everyone
blast.
else's face for people to judge
Yeah.
publicly. So,
Okay. Yeah,
but
that's
that's
why
why
I
I say
wanted
it's
to ask because
complicated.
I know you said that, and I
Hmm.
know that was one of the struggles. I know there were more, but I know that was one of the struggles you had watching the show. So I was curious: is that still a theme? Are you still struggling with it?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's all the way complicated, but it's like hard not to watch it at this point, because it's so compelling.
Okay.
There's not a lot that exists like it. Um, I think the only thing that I watch that is just as cringy is couples therapy on Showtime. And I'm not talking about the MTV show Couples Therapy. I'm talking about couples therapy on Showtime that is an actual therapist who sits with actual couples of different walks of life, and we see their therapy sessions, and they have real problems and they have real issues, and it is the most uncomfortable thing to watch, but it's also incredibly entertaining because of the fact that these are real people in their real lives. Coming back May 31st, by the way, if anybody's interested. The first 3 seasons are on Showtime. This is not an ad, and I did not
Someone
get
said they
paid for
didn't
this,
even
but
pay
it's one of
us.
the
Like,
best shows I've ever seen in terms of reality. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. I'm hands down one of my favorite shows, because it's honest. It's honest, and they don't all make it. It's not meant to be a fluff show. It's meant to actually show you what people really go through in relationships, and this is the only thing that comes close to that, in my opinion.
okay, well, you're locked in, so we'll be waiting for the next update.
Okay, I got
Season
you.
season finale probably,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come on
because
and
I
talk about
imagine
couples therapy when it comes out too. I'm gonna let y'all know if it's worth the watch, because it's been a long time.
right. Nothing
Hmm.
wrong with that.
Yeah, I think the last season we got was like during when they filmed during lockdown.
Oh, that's a minute ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we'll be here waiting,
Hmm. I'm gonna probably
and
rewatch seasons 1 through 3,
good luck with that.
because I'm a crazy person. All right, we gotta go.
Yes. We do.
All right,
Y'all have a good weekend. This has been Weeknights. We will see y'all on Monday.
bye.